Stacey, excuse me. What episode is this?
29. Wow.
You know, you would think I wouldn't have to ask that question since you have giant 12-foot letters in front of our face. Numbers, episode 29. But Stacey, can you believe the Rocky Files has sustained 29 episodes?
I know.
Well, I mean,
It's awesome.
Well, it is. I can't believe this.
Yeah, I think people love, for fans, about fans, by fans, we try to keep everyone engaged and have fans on. I hope it works for people. That's our goal.
I honestly do think that it works for people. I think people are having an incredibly great time with it. I get so much positive feedback. I really do. And it's why I think it's why I do this. I don't care if one person is watching. I don't care if 3 million are watching. Right. I just love talking all things Rocky. And how can I go wrong with you as my co-host?
Thank you. Oh, I'm just glad we're still doing this. I know that you were a little nervous at first.
I was.
Here we are, yeah.
I was. And my main man, Anthony, up in Canada, he reached out and thought, maybe this might be a good opportunity. And here we are. I mean, I can't believe it. Yeah. And, we wouldn't be able to do this really without a co-host, since we've had a little format change.
Right.
And I think we have a co-host for tonight, don't we?
We do.
We do.
I'm going to bring him in.
Bring him in.
Tim! Hey, honey.
Hey,
yo.
Yo.
How's everybody in the clubhouse today?
Good.
We are doing so good. The other day, I had done some serious grocery shopping at the grocery store. Got some great deals. Tim, you do the shopping for the house, right? You do a lot of the grocery shopping.
Yeah, sometimes I do. You go to Costco, load up.
Sure. Costco's a great place, local grocery stores. Have you picked up anything lately of value or not value?
You know what?
What do you got?
Usually I get a list and I'm told to stay to the list. Right. At the odd time I go off that list, and unfortunately I picked up something that was not on the list.
What'd you get?
I picked up COVID. So unfortunately, I know that was not on the list.
No, that was not on the list, buddy.
Usually potato chips and junk food aren't supposed to come in the house. Ooh. COVID is definitely not.
Right.
So no, to be serious, I do have COVID. I am in isolation here in the bowels of the basement.
Right.
So everything is good other than a cough, a sore throat, and a runny nose. Mm-hmm. Knock on wood, and believe me, it's pretty hard there. I'm good. I'm good. I'll be out of isolation by Thursday.
Tonight. And tonight you're out of isolation.
Tonight, out of isolation tonight. And,
excellent. Now let me ask you this, Tim.
Thank God, nobody else. Everybody else is negative.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. One, is everybody good, which is good. Yeah. And two, if you walk through the house, what are you doing to walk through the house?
So everybody now is wearing a mask in the house, unfortunately, just where we are, because just trying not to spread it around. I am using the spare room, the spare bathroom. I have my own glass. One glass. It's like prison. I've got one plate, one cup, one roll of toilet paper.
All right, don't drop the soap in the shower, okay? All right, watch the shower. You've seen prison movies. You know how it works.
Everybody's good, thank God. Everybody's I've been quarantined even from the dog. So by the end of this episode tomorrow morning, I'll be out of quarantine.
I am so happy to hear that. Yeah. Because unfortunately, we couldn't bring you where we're Stacey and I are actually going live from a brand new home office. This is a big one, folks. Yeah. This is a huge one. We are actually coming to you. Stacey and I are live from Birmingham, England. That's right. The UK. We are transatlantic. We are international. And this is going to be the home of the Rocky Files for this week. But why Birmingham? Why did we choose this town? Well, there's several good reasons. One thing I forgot to mention to everyone, try to ignore Apollo Creed's nipples right above me over here. try to just ignore this mountain of mail. All right. I meant to mention that earlier, and maybe we should put a PG-13 rating up.
Okay.
Flash that across the screen. So why Birmingham, England? Well, this past week I had the incredible pleasure. There's a Facebook group called Rocky Balboa Going the Distance. And these guys were actually featured in a Super Bowl ad in 2020. And it was absolutely brilliant. I was supposed to be part of the ad on the Rocky steps, but didn't work out that way. And such is life. I had a much more important commitment, if you could imagine that. And a friend of mine, Marco Naylor, he actually runs the group. And he is probably the UK's biggest Rocky fan. I mean, he really is incredible. And a friend of him, Sean Wallage, who runs a travel agency in the UK, they got together, and about 18 months ago, they said, Mike, we'd like to do with you an official Rocky 45th anniversary tour. Yeah, and we'll get as many people as we can. And so we had, at one point, there was like, I don't know, 35, 40 people. But because of COVID still and all that, it kept getting changed and the dates getting changed. So people whittled off the list. So we had about 21 people take the tour in Philadelphia. They were there for about 3.5 days. And it was nothing short of brilliant. I saw some old friends of mine, Tony Montalbano, who really in 2009 he took as friends. We were just online friends, and he said he was going to be in Philadelphia or New York actually for something, and he was making his way to Philly, wanted to see the Rocky sites. And I said, well, I know where they are, why don't I take you? And that was literally the first tour I did, but it wasn't the tour that exists today, but it was the first one. And I have to really take, if I was wearing my hat off to Tony for just giving me a little oomph in that direction. And so I saw him. I saw my friend Tina. I got to see Marco, meet some new friends. We even had a wedding proposal at the top of the steps that actually Sly posted.
Oh, that's right. He did.
I saw that.
Yes, I saw that.
That was
awesome.
Was
from our tour.
Yep.
Yes, Andrew Bamford and his girlfriend, fiance Jane, who is a lovely, lovely woman. Absolutely amazing. They got engaged up there, which was just wonderful. And so
that's an engagement photo of Sly's posting it, right?
He put the video. Yeah, he put the whole video that was recorded, which was wonderful. It was totally heartwarming. And it really captured his heart because, this is something that came from his imagination decades ago. Anyways, there were quite a number of people that I had seen, and I was so grateful. And then I met some new friends. But along the way, I had a very profound moment twice. We went up to the Front Street Gym. And there were two guys. The first guy, I believe his name was Azadine. I had to write it down because I didn't want to mispronounce it. You see, guys, you have to understand. I do not have an elephant's memory. I have to write notes. I can't remember anything. It's no reflection on anyone else. Anyways, this gentleman, Azadine, he is a professional horse jockey. He is a rather established individual. He has a great career in the UK. But his one dream was to become a boxer or to try boxing to see if he could rise above and take a shot. Could he go a few rounds with the sport that he saw in Rocky that inspired him? And he, as you will see in this video, he gave it his all. Now, in this video, I want you, and I'm going to talk about it after this first video. We've got 3 videos. I want you to pay attention to Azadine's sparring partner, Sean McFadden. Stace, would you hit that for us and show everybody?
Absolutely. Hang on.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. At the end, you see, at the end was just one of the tours we did on one day, on one afternoon. Wow. We had 3 or 4 tours that we had done. So as the dean had never stepped into a ring a day in his life. This was his dream. So I had nothing to do with this part of it. This was not on me. This was Marco, Sean Wallage, and Sean McFadden. Now, the sparring partner is Sean McFadden. He is a local boxer a professional boxer from the town I grew up in. Okay, Scranton. Sean works out at the Gene Reed Gym at Western Field in North Scranton. Anyways, Sean is one of the kindest people I've come across. He allowed this non-professional, non-amateur to go at him, to hit his body, to give him headshots, because he wanted to help make this man's dream a reality. I had a very similar dream. Yeah, I had a very similar dream when I was his age, but I was too afraid to get in a boxing ring. I was too afraid. As the dean, he actually stepped up and did it. And you can see in that video, he was a little, just didn't know what to expect. He tried. He had some decent form to him. And the music he set to it that he put on his social media was No Easy Way Out, which is a great song to put.
Great song.
For me, I saw it differently. I saw it how I would have seen it if I were in his shoes. The music we played is from The Pretender, a very great documentary about a great guy that you all should watch. It's on Amazon video right now, Amazon Prime. But I thought that video, in my mind, that music was a little better because it was a climb for him. Azadine had no idea how long 1 minute was. He fought 2 1-minute rounds with Sean. And Sean was walking over to him. He was giving him advice, telling him how to move, how to protect himself, what punches to shot. And Sean kept saying, hit me harder.
Wow.
Give me more. Don't pull you. Now, Sean pulled his punches for Azadine, but anybody did hit him kind of hard. And I actually cried. I was slightly off to the side. I can feel it right now, getting a little emotional. I remember standing there with several other people from the tour, watching this ring and watching these fighters in the ring. And I thought, wow, this is a profound moment. This man will talk about this 1,000 times until the day he dies. He will never forget on this Rocky tour at the Front Street Gym in the ring where Rocky trained his fighter. Okay. And so, I just thought, what a profound moment. Now, we had another gentleman whose name is Suki, and he lives in the UK, and he actually bears a striking resemblance to Stallone. And when I was looking at him, I couldn't help but think he was incredibly handsome. Because he reminded me of someone that I like to look at in the mirror. Stacy, would you show this second 1-minute round?
Yes.
I'm like an angel on his shoulder.
No, first things first, the music. That is called Mike's Theme.
Yep.
Which is a documentary on Amazon Prime. It's a great documentary, and I recommend everyone going to Amazon Prime and downloading it and watching it. Now, why did I think that song was good? I did the quick editing on it. Earlier today. I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about tonight, but I kind of knew, but I didn't know how I wanted to set it up. So you know what? One, we have to worry about violations on YouTube on certain music, so this one will be cleared. So I thought, you know what? This is about doing it. This is about standing up, and this is about, for once in your life, trying something you would never, ever dare try in your regular day-to-day life, right?
Yeah.
Like, Tim, I'm not saying you wanted to be heavyweight champ, but you would never think to go into a ring and start sparring, right? That's not everyday occurrence for you.
You got to be a moron to want to be a fighter. You understand? It's almost a racket you're going to guarantee to end up a bum.
I don't think you're a bum. Well, I'm at least half a bum, you know. Stacy, you certainly never thought about getting into the ring, right?
No.
Of course not. No. You got all this works for you, okay? So you don't want to damage that. Much like myself, I do not have the cojones to get into the ring. Although I fantasize about doing that, I am nowhere near as brave as those men in the ring. So I want to do a quick shout out to Suki. I'm going to I'll put it. We'll get his name, his Instagram handle. We'll put that in our description so you guys can follow Suki. He is also a Stallone impersonator, Rocky impersonator in the UK. And you know what? He's pretty good.
Really?
Yes, he is. He's got a great voice. I think he does the voice better than I do. I think he has a better nose for Rocky. He has a much more styled nose like Stallone than I do. I have my mother's Polish nose. Sorry, Mom. That's not a slam on our Polak history. I love it. You know that. But facts are, I don't have Dad's nose. My father's got a beak. I mean, he's got the Italian nose. So, but anyways, he does a really great job, and so Suki, it was my pleasure meeting you, and I loved our time together. It was really great, and it's one of those things where I think it's what the Rocky Tours stand for. I think it's what Marco and Sean Wallach wanted to try to bring together. They wanted to try to make dreams happen, bucket lists happen. It's something I do every day on tours, but this was next level. This was with a bunch of incredible fans from the UK. Just think about that for a minute. Just here I am, little Mikey Kunda from Scranton, Pennsylvania, driving around in a little mom's soccer van, just my little logo on the side, and I've got international tourists just having a great time. It was a very inspiring few days. Now, the last video that I want to show is a compiling of just a fraction of pictures I've come across. Everybody on the tour was tagging me. So I have videos and pictures I haven't even gotten to yet. I have to go back over the next couple of days. So I took a little bit of this stuff, and if you'll forgive me, it's an egocentric moment of me on the speed bag. Stacy, would you please show that?
Yes. Wow.
Okay. So this was quick editing. Yeah, it was very, very fast editing. And in a little bit, I'm going to do something a little more substantial that kind of works exactly the way I want it. But I want to have something ready for tonight. So some of those people I knew very well. In the very beginning, that's a picture of Azzedine. He and I were standing at the steps of the Rocky house, 1818. And then, of course, there was that comparison shot from Rocky. And that's the thing. You see, when people are standing there on the tour, we don't get out as much at 1818. But for this one, we got lucky. The cops were up there because it's a tough area. So the cops were out. We were talking with them. It was great. And we all posed at the steps. And in everyone's mind, you see Rocky at the screen door talking to Adrian. You see Adrian on with the porch with the brown bag. And she gives butt kiss to Rocky. So these images go through your mind. And now they are standing here. Some have stand there for like the third or fourth time. Some are standing there for the first time. And it was a beautiful, brilliant moment And as you saw, we had the different groups together. We finished the tour with a massive dinner at the Victor Cafe, which we had in the trophy room where the Leroy Neiman was. We sat back there, so we were kind of on our own. And of course, the owners, Greg and Alexa DeStefano, came over, and they were so wonderful. We were up in the loft area, and everyone was taking pictures and getting together.
Best seat in the house.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And I think the memories and you see, the thing is, I don't have a lot of my father's probably going to yell at me for saying this. But the thing is, I really don't have a lot of friends. I have 2 friends from when I was a kid. Joe Ayub and Mark Zhang. They are my 2 friends. I don't see them nearly as much as I'd like to. And that's it. Okay. And so they're living their lives, and we try to connect as much as we can. To have friends like this in this Rocky world, because of Rocky, to commiserate over everything that goes on in our lives was such a wonderful moment. Not to mention my friends at the Victor Cafe. They're always supernaturally great. But I look back, and I was actually very sad when everyone left the car for the last time. I actually stayed around a little later to say my goodbyes. I kind of gave them rides instead of having them take Ubers and whatnot. I stuck around to give them rides here and there. And I found myself emotionally drained and choked up. I don't know if it's love that I feel for these people. I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is, but I feel a very strong connection because I've stayed socially active with them on social media.
Right.
And I think, Stacey, we ought to get some of them on in the future.
Yes.
On the podcast.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Tim, there's one guy. His name is Tony Montalbano. He has such an incredible history. What he's achieved in his life is nothing short of excellent. He's very interesting. We had a great friend, John Rivoli. He showed up the morning where he left, or I'm sorry, the group left to go back to the UK. They didn't leave until late in the afternoon, but he showed up in the lobby of the hotel and the Sonesta, and he set up his
I saw this post. Unbelievable work. Work.
To be able to see up close the original works of art that he has done was, for me, I mean, on my wall right over there, I've got 23 pieces from the guy, right? But here I'm looking at the originals, and it was great to see him. It was great to see, his interaction with the fans, and I saw the way they looked at John. It was like a celebrity had come down off the Mount Olympus and spoken about his secrets and the way he painted and what these paintings meant to him. And I was so glad to see John, because I love John, but I don't get to see John as much as I'd like to. He's up in New York, and of course I'm in Philly, but it was quite monumental. So
but can we just talk about those 3 videos for a minute?
Go right ahead.
They were all phenomenal, and thank you for putting them on again. I remember when you posted them, but let's talk about the boxers that got in the ring.
Right.
That's class. Okay. That's class right there, to let them come at them. And you were a big part of that, my friend. The old Philly Rocky Film Tour was a huge part of it. So you made dreams reality right there. So don't think for a minute that you weren't a part of that. Those people will go back and they will remember that forever. So my hat's off to you as well, Mike. Because they put that tour together in collaboration with you. And you made memories, my friend. Everybody involved, John Rivoli, yourself, what a great day. And we're just happy to witness it, be a part of it. So thank you.
Great post.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Stace, you were very kind in some of the notes you had put up there. And it's I know you get it. You totally get it. It was a big deal, and I was surprised at how emotional I got. I was very. It hit me heavy. I mean, I was. Man, Stacey, you would be very proud. The tears flowed. My chin was up, chest out, shoulders back.
Beautiful.
Puddles of water at my feet. I was very emotional. I was And those types of things, it really means a lot when you see other people. I know what it meant to each and every fan that was there. I know it from my toes to my hair. I know it. And so I was glad to be a part of it. And going forward, I think we have some great ideas because on the last day, when everything was all said and done, I had gone up to their room, Marco and Sean's room, and we talked about what we want to do different, what we want to make bigger, better. So we have some really good ideas coming, for the future. Anyways, guys, thank you for letting me kind of talk about that because
thank you for telling us.
Thank you. No, you're welcome. This was very special for me. I mean, I do tours every day, but this one was particularly special. So speaking of special tours, we have a guest, Stacy.
We do have a guest.
Stacy, who is this?
This gentleman, his name is Brock Smith, and you just wished him a happy 50th a couple weeks ago. So he has taken your tour too.
He did take the tour. You know, with a name like Brock, that is a guy you don't mess with. You don't want to owe a guy named Brock money. You just don't, because he's the type of guy.
$5. I tell you that.
I don't want to owe him 3 minutes of anything. Okay, he's the type of guy that takes you into the alley and ties your spine in a knot. Okay, he makes you look like a pretzel. Okay, I don't care. I don't care how big you are. No, Brock seriously was a great guy. Is Brock around? Did he come? He came over to the UK with us, right?
He did. He was able to jump on a plane.
He was able to jump on a plane.
I think he took my ticket. I think he took
your ticket. That's right. Stacy, let's get Brock in here.
All right, here he comes, Brock. Woo, there he is. Hey.
Yo, Brock.
How are you?
Hello, my friend.
How's it going?
It's going very, very well. I am so glad to see you. How have you been?
I'm doing great. Family's good. Kids are
handsome as ever.
Mike, you're just saying that because it's true.
You're right. You're right. I remember asking you, what is your beauty regimen before bed? I remember you said you use a little olive oil on each cheek. And then what your wife does, she tucks you into a Tupperware container and she seals you. And then you wake up in the morning and you're not oxidized. You're perfect.
Yeah. Really, the only thing you're missing is she'll dump a bag of Cheetos in there before she.
Yes. A man after my own heart.
Yeah.
The secret's out now. The secret is out now.
Life without junk food is almost not even worth it.
No, I agree.
No, it's not. Brock, let me ask you this. Let's start with this. Why are you a Rocky fan? What does it mean to you?
Well, I've been a Rocky fan for as long as I can remember. But it went to another level when I became an adult, just because it wasn't just these guys fighting and the dude I'm rooting for, all that stuff. I got a lot of the messages and the meanings behind stuff. Excuse me. And it really spoke to me. I have stories with pretty much all of the movies. And like one of my first movie memories was Rocky 2.
Okay.
So my dad and my uncle took my cousin and I, we're the same age, we've been best friends forever.
Yeah.
To go see Rocky 2. Now I don't remember seeing the first one as a kid, but I knew who Rocky was and what it was about. So I was pretty fired up. And when Adrian wakes up and she says, I want you to win, and Mickey goes, well, what are we waiting for? That's the first time I ever heard a theater cheer.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
And then in the fight, when they had the double knockdown and they're getting up, I remember my cousin and I standing up, and I'm holding on to the seat back in front of me. Apologies to that dude 40 years ago who had the 7-year-old jumping up and down, screaming behind him. And when Rocky won, he got up, we're hugging. It was so exciting. And then, of course, you beat each other up the whole way back to the car.
Reenacting it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, throwing punches and everything. So, and then I was just hooked after that.
Right.
The third one, I've seen the third one more than any other movie in my life. Because that hit the pay cable channels when cable hit our area in Ohio.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was very easy to rig the cable box and get the pay channels through.
Yes, it was.
Right.
Yeah, you just flipped it upside down and connected wires. I mean, it was super easy. I'm not going to condone that to my children watching this. Okay?
Life lessons right there. Life lessons.
And back then, it wasn't movies weren't just on HBO or just on Showtime. They were on all of them.
Right.
The pay channel. So Rocky 3 was on every day, all the time.
Wow. I remember.
Yeah, it was. And that's the most fun of all the Rocky movies, in my opinion.
Sure.
It was really fun.
What do you think it is about Rocky 3? Do you think it's about losing and then coming back? Do you think it's the music? Do you think it's the first in the series that picked up speed in the storytelling process?
Well, it's definitely the most action-packed.
Yeah.
And that's what really appealed to me when I was younger.
Right.
I didn't so much get the he got complacent and wasn't trying as hard as what he should and everything.
Right.
It was more, hey man, there was 3 fights in this. There was some cool training.
Right.
All that stuff. So that was the most fun.
Gotcha. What's your thoughts on Rocky 4, the original Rocky 4?
So Rocky 4 is the single greatest movie-going experience of my life.
Beautiful.
I agree.
So when we were in the theater, so I have 2 stories about it. But first off, we go to buy tickets, and my dad goes, "Yeah, let me get 3 tickets for that there Rocky IV." And I'm like, Dad,
Rocky IV.
Yeah. I'm like, it's Rocky 4.
Nice.
Oh. Yeah. Which now, being a dad doing stuff to embarrass my kids, I get, but at the time I didn't.
Right.
So we go see the movie, and in the second round of the final fight, when Rocky finally hits Drago, and they go, he's cut.
Right.
The whole theater went crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but talking about it brings it up. I mean,
right.
It was awesome. Absolutely awesome. The theater was rocking. It was really, really cool. I got to see it again. It was the first movie I ever saw by myself. My sister wanted to see something else. Whatever.
More life lessons right here, folks.
And I begged my dad. I was like, Dad, hey, I'm 13. I can go see this by myself. You go see whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there was these 2 older ladies in front of me. And when Rocky won't throw the towel in the Apollo fight, they literally start MFing Rocky.
No.
It was, and at this point, the movie had been out like 6 months or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Everybody knows what's going to happen, apparently, except them. They were so mad at Rocky, and I just thought that was so funny. But then at the end, they were on their feet yelling when Rocky won.
Yeah.
And I remember high-fiving them when it was over.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
a great story.
That's the power of great storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
That's the power where I think a skilled storyteller, director, writer, actor, producer like Stallone can bring us on that journey from start, middle to finish. And we feel like we are there. We feel we are ringside. Brock, that's one of the things, like with Rocky 3, Rocky 4, you really, even Rocky 1 and 2, you always felt like you were ringside.
Yeah.
That really was.
Yeah. Rocky 5, I enjoyed Rocky 5. It's probably my least favorite.
Sure.
But
what is it that you don't like about it or dislike?
So I didn't like the whole brain damage thing.
Okay.
I didn't. They could have him hurt or maybe some type of brain issue, but he doesn't need to be stammering or stuttering or
sure.
I didn't really like that. But I will tell you that the last scene when Tommy knocks down Paulie, you knocked him down. Won't you try knocking me down?
Right.
Awesome.
How can you not get fired up seeing that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like you just want to go beat somebody. Like you wish somebody bullied someone in front of you, right? Just so you could go.
You want to physically command someone else. You want to physically appropriate someone else's space and have them dare you to tell you no. You just want to. I know.
Bring it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't appropriate a toilet cover. So I'm not appropriating anything. But, you know, a man of your size, which you're just slightly smaller than a mountain, you know, you can do that. You can command that. All right, let's go to Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Balboa?
So I really liked Balboa. I really liked it. The speech, it's not how hard you hit. We have that in 2 different places in my house. My wife actually has it part of the quote in a frame in our living room with our family pictures and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, she can't watch it without crying. But that's not saying much. She cries on long distance.
Hey, easy, pal. I happen to agree with your wife. Let's not get crazy. I know your wife, and she's good humans, okay?
Yeah, she's a sweet. Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. You said something here that is pretty interesting. Yeah. You have this in your living room. Wow. What an amazing wife to allow you to have that. Because my wife doesn't allow me anything. She won't let me have anything of Rocky anywhere. I can't have Rocky, nothing upstairs. I have to sit in my little basement, and I have to just sit here.
With nothing.
Maybe you could talk to my wife and allow me to put that upstairs.
Well, Mike, I took your tour and it was awesome. You need to give tours of your basement.
Yeah.
I think so, right? Like a museum.
Right? Yeah. I'm hearing that. I really have, Brock. And I've been thinking about that. But you know what the downside of that is? There are two downsides. And I had my friends Charlie, Paul, and Charlie's son Connor here. They were with the UK tour and they were up at the house. And that is something that's got its own special place, what they did for me. So I'm gonna talk about that eventually. But I had them up here and they convinced me that I'm crazy. So number one, so listen to this. I've spent 3 hours with everyone on the tour. At the end of 3 hours, I'm thinking everyone has done what Mikey Kunda. Then we don't need. Thanks, Mike. It's been a great tour, but we'd like to just spend time with our family. That's the one reason why I don't invite more people over. I guess the second reason is people are crazy and they may bring duct tape and ether in a rag. And I might be in the back of a trunk of a Cadillac somewhere and laying next to Gazzo. Okay. So that's another reason. But really the most important reason, and those 3 people that I mentioned, they sort of got me to see things a little differently. The pictures I have here are of my personal life. I don't think it'd be very interesting, but I remember talking with you on the tour and you had said something. No, I think maybe people like to hear that. I don't know. Would you want to come over next time you're in town?
Absolutely.
All right. It's a date.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'll have the pizza. I'll have the drinks and you just bring yourselves.
No, that would be great. You know, and you mentioned, Sean, my wife, being so cool, let me put that picture up. I had nothing to do with it. She did it.
Did she really?
Yeah, she did it. I'll shoot you a picture of it. It's real small. It's real small, and it's in the middle of, because we framed a bunch of the pictures of our first trip to Philly.
Okay.
On the steps, and she put it in with that. It's pretty cool. I'm super lucky. But
man, I love hearing that.
Yeah. Sean reached out to me when you were turning 50. And so she was like, hey, could you give him a shout out? And so that's when we wished you a happy birthday a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I didn't know that was happening. As soon as I got home from work that Thursday, it's like 5 o'clock or whatever. And she goes, so you're going to watch Rocky Files tonight, right? You're not going to wait? Right. I can.
Can I get a shower first?
I think we have some time.
Yeah, I love it.
But far and away though, my favorite Rocky movie is the original.
Yeah.
It's my all-time favorite movie.
Yeah.
It's so good. The last 20-25 minutes of that movie is amazing.
Yes, it is.
It is, from the training, and I love the scene where he's awake, and he's like, man, I can't beat this guy. I'm not in his league, but I will, I'm going to be standing at the end. Nobody's done that. Basically, he's going to know my name. They're going to know.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. And that I think is so universal. You don't have to be a boxer. You don't have to be a CEO. You don't have to be a doctor. Or you could be any walk of life. You really just want to kind of be standing at the end of the day and get through your day and do the best that you possibly can. And I think that's what Rocky represents so beautifully for so many of us. It really does. Now, do you have a favorite moment in the original Rocky?
Round 14. Yeah. Oh yeah. When he's, it's weird, like I always liked action movies and all this stuff. And let me back up a little bit. So in the mid 90s, I was going through a really bad personal time. The girl I was going to be with forever, we had split up. And by the way, thank God. So I'm like really, really bummed out. And I was like, you know what? Let me put Rocky on. I hadn't watched it in years, not the first. And it just spoke to me so much. There's so many things in that movie that's so true to life. Like, hey, they don't remember you, they remember the rep. That is so true. That is, like, I don't remember that guy's name, but I remember the stinky guy that I used to work with, or whatever. I mean, you remember that rep. And the part where he said, he told Paulie, it's about gaps, right?
Yeah.
I have gaps, he has gaps. We fill each other's gaps. It's so true. It is.
Very much. Yes.
I always liked all girls with long hair, preferably blonde, whatever. Hey,
yeah.
How
you doing?
So, but Sean, I'm almost 6'4". Sean's 5'2". She had really short hair. It was dark. So on paper, she didn't like sports really. So, on paper, it didn't really match. But when we went out, it was awesome. I'm the luckiest dude ever. I really am.
You found your Adrian, man. You found your Adrian.
And she had never seen Rocky, right? And I was like, look, I can't be with anybody that hasn't seen Rocky. So I made her watch it, and she cried like a baby. And now that's my favorite movie.
Wow.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But the 14th round, man, when he's down and she comes out, and at that moment she sees him, and it's just, and then he gets up, and then I think my favorite part is, so then she puts her head down, like when she sees it, and then he gets back up. She's like, oh no, it's going to get worse. And then Apollo's like slumped or what. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
When Apollo says so, we see it in a look. Carl Weathers gives a look that says, excuse me, I just gave you, no, you're supposed to stay down. I just gave you my best. How are you standing?
Yes, that is the classic, you have got to be shitting me look.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. If you had one soundtrack to listen to of all the Rockies, and there is no wrong answer here, what soundtrack would you listen to?
I like the first one, the original. Yeah, the original. Going the Distance is awesome.
Yeah,
right. Like better than the theme.
Philadelphia Morning.
Yeah, Philadelphia Morning. Very underrated. Doesn't get nearly enough
for Rocky. You name it, man. That was just amazing music.
Yeah, and we listen to different Rocky music when I'm taking my son to practice.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially if it's going to be a game. If it's going to be a game, we always listen to Rocky music,
right
before the game and everything. Now, his favorite movie is Rocky IV.
Okay.
No problem. I get it.
One.
How old is he?
So he's 14.
14.
Yep.
Sure.
And my daughter is 18, going on 36.
Yes, she is. I remember her poise. I remember what an unbelievably old soul she was. Yeah. I was very impressed with the way she was mentally thinking. She was very, very forward thinking about her future, which a lot of 18-year-olds aren't necessarily like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't. No. I was trying to figure out Velcro at the time. So she's got her future mapped out, man. I mean, she's on the ball.
At 18, the only thing I had going for me was a grade A mullet. I mean, it was
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my God. That is so true.
The movies, man, they, and I coached youth sports for years.
Right.
I would use Rocky phrasing or sayings or even just the theme of it.
Yeah.
Even raising the kids, like there's so many situations that come up. And it's not a religion or whatever. We're not Scientologists or whatever.
Yeah. Sure, I understand. I am. What's wrong with that? You got a problem with that? I'm a psychologist, okay?
Look, we don't judge here in the Smith household.
Right.
Hey, listen, Brock, I wanted to ask you, how did you get into coaching? Because I find that interesting.
Well, so I always played sports. I always played my whole life. My dad showed me, and I've always loved it, watching on TV and everything. And then as my kids got old enough, my daughter really wasn't into it that much, but my son is all in. So I've been able to coach him in baseball and basketball for years, but now he's a freshman in high school, and I'm not coaching this year for the first time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was telling him, because baseball is our favorite, and it's one of I told him today, actually, when I dropped him off, I was like, man, it's going to be weird not being in the dugout. And he goes, yeah. And I go, maybe I'll talk to your coach, see if he needs some help or something. And he's like, Dad, I don't know about that. I ain't going to embarrass you, bud. I'm not.
It's the age, yeah.
That's awesome. It really is. Hey, Tim, listen, you got any questions for Brock? Because I don't want to keep Brock like for an eternity. I really like having him on the show.
No, he's been great.
You got something you want to ask him?
Yeah, Brock, you know what? You've been a great guest. His stories are great. I was reading your story. Now, you said you guys did the Yo Philly Rocky film tour.
Yeah.
But you did something the next day, and it's funny that your kids didn't like it as much as the Philly Rocky film tour. So I want to ask you, what was the two tours you did, and what tour did they like better? Because I know the answer, but I'll let you tell the story.
The second one wasn't a tour. We went to Six Flags.
Yeah. Which Six Flags
in Jersey.
Teenagers are like, that's it, right? So that's the place to be.
And my kids love riding rides and everything like that. But we've been to a lot of amusement parks.
Oh, wow.
But they loved Mike's tour. And Mike even made the comment when we were done. He was like, yeah, and you guys weren't even on your phones or anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my son Adam, afterwards, he's like, why would we be on our phones?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you're always on your phone.
You get to run the Rocky steps. You get to see the statue, like
the steps
in the movie.
The first time we went to the steps in 2018, it was actually really emotional. It was. It's one of those things on paper. You're like, well, we ran up the steps, we hung out for I didn't want to leave. Like it was so cool. In fact, that's my screensaver on my phone.
Oh,
nice.
It was really, really cool. I liked it. And the tour was awesome. Mike tells you stuff on the tour that you didn't even know you wanted to know.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I duct tape everyone to the seats. I have fish hooks, and what I do, I fish hook their eyes open. So that's nobody's on their phones anymore.
Yeah, Mike's dude, he'll show you a picture on his phone, and he'll be like, "Now this is where Rocky was in this." And if you notice, his belt is on the third loop. And the reason it's on the third loop is because they filmed it on Wednesday. And I know they filmed it on Tuesday night. They have linguine. Catering brings in linguine, and that's his favorite. So he has this extra portion. Normally his belt's on the second loop. That's how I know that's filmed on a Wednesday.
No extra charge for that. No extra charge, right?
That's the truth. That really is what I do. I try to cram in.
For anybody watching this, you take it. It's awesome. It was so much fun. It was. It really was.
So glad to hear.
Yeah,
I'm so glad to hear. Tim, before I throw it to Stacy, what else you got? Anything else?
Yeah, I just thinking. You touched on the movies and Rocky 3. So you said you've seen that the most. Is there one scene in that stands out for you? Is that where does Brock go when he needs inspiration?
Well, for me, the most inspirational one's the first one.
Okay. Yeah.
The third one, it's like I said, it's just a fun movie. And there's lines in it, and I sent Stacey an email. We're talking about how funny the Rocky movies are as well. I think that would be a cool episode to just like focus on that. The third one, like the two funny parts in the third one that always crack me up. I set you up with your first girlfriend or your first date. And she was pregnant.
Yeah,
that was funny. And then when Paulie was like, "I don't like these people."
Yeah.
Rocky, well, I don't think they like you either.
You either.
You hide.
Yeah.
I don't like these kinds of people.
I love that.
Paulie was great.
But Rocky being scared in the third one, so he's not training hard. His attitude is poor. All that stuff, and I've used that too in talking to my kids and coaching and everything. This practice, your head isn't in it. You don't think we're going to win anyway, so why should we even try or whatever? You're just wasting everybody's time. And then Adrian gives him the speech.
Well said.
The beach scene, right?
The beach scene, and then he gets his attitude right.
Yeah.
And then everything changes. And at that point, it doesn't matter if he wins or loses.
That's right.
Because, he's gone about it the right way. He's given it everything he had. Some of the most proud moments of me with my team's coaching and everything is in games where we've lost. Like that team is 1,000,000 points better than us, but we only lost by 2.
Right.
We got in their grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Brock, who adjusted Rocky's thought process in Rocky 3? Who was Adrian did. And speaking of Adrian, we are going to go to our own Adrian Factor resident champion, Stacy. What do you got for Brock?
Brock, thank you. You've been so much fun, so much energy. I love the enthusiasm. Definitely. And I get what you mean when you say it's so emotional. It's funny because my mom, I haven't been there yet. I'm going to be taking Mike's tour. And just as an aside, my mom's Catholic, and all the statues, you know what I'm saying, in the Catholic Church and everything. The one statue, I'm going to be in front of that statue crying. And my mom's going to be like, "Oh, really?" Anyway, I get it. I can't wait to get there because I know that I'm going to get all emotional. People got to my questions. I just loved how you titled your email to me. The subject line was Dr. Rocky. And I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" So I read it. And like you said, you prescribe movies, Rocky moments, Rocky quotes to your kids. And I was like, Dr. Rocky.
Dr. Rocky.
So
like
awesome.
That.
Yeah. I've had a few ladies at work, their kids play sports and they've asked me some things from time to time. They're going to lose anyway. So I'm talking, man, he needs to watch Rocky 3. Grab that. Or, they know he's not on the team he wants to be on, and it doesn't matter. No, he needs to watch Rocky Balboa. Let's see this speech.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just see Brock walking around with the doctor coat on, handing out Rocky 3. Okay, watch this. Call me in the morning.
Exactly.
Dr. Rocky.
Right. Yeah, I'm the only doctor that cuts your eye.
I love it. Even if you don't need it, we're cutting your eye. Okay.
Yep.
Brock, on this show, before we kick everybody out of here, before they move on, we like to do one little segment. Stacy, would you play a little video for us? A little elevator video.
Sure.
Brock, you've got 30 seconds in the elevator with Sylvester Stallone. What do you say?
All right. Well, first off, we're gonna assume that I'm not gonna choke. Okay?
Right. Correct.
Because actually, I met The Rock like 20 years ago.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. Oh, you say neat. Just wait. And I go, hey, Rock. My name's Brock. And he looks at me and he goes, hey, how's it going? I'm like, all right, bye, Rock. Like, hey, our names rhyme. We should be friends. Let's hang out.
Aw, cute.
Yeah, but I was much younger then, so I've since matured. And,
That was 48.
Yeah. No, I would just say thank you. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for the entertainment. It's I really appreciate it. Then I'd probably try to ask some questions, to keep him.
There you go.
Like I would love to ask him, like, what is the one thing in any of the movies that still bugs you to this day? Like you had this good idea, but you couldn't afford to do it, or they didn't have the technology then to do it this way, or whatever.
Great question.
I would like to ask him that, but the main thing is just gratitude. Right. Just thank you. It's learning stuff from them and being able to pass that on to my kids and in real life situations to help them. Just being a good example, good role model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said, my friend. I think that is just a great answer. Brock, you have been so awesome to have on here. I really do appreciate you taking the time to come on. I think a lot of people are going to love you on this. I think they're really going to say, Dr. Rocky, that is really
Dr. Rocky.
That is really going to touch some lives. My friend, thank you so very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening and keep punching.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Love the show.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow.
You want to know how to be a good guest? Follow Brock. That's how you be a good guest.
Yeah, he
raised the bar pretty high.
Sure did.
He raised the bar pretty high.
He sure did. I really liked Brock and his family. They were really great people. I can't say enough kind things about them. I really can't. Stace, what'd you think?
It's his energy. You know what I'm saying? The enthusiasm. I think you don't have the space in your own little homes or among your own friends or your own family. Everybody thinks you're a little nuts. And so, but when we get here, we get to be crazy excited. And that's what I like. Just like you have the space to do that. So I could feel his enthusiasm. I totally get it.
I would love to see a movie with him. Could you imagine being in the theater with that?
Yeah, right.
Him climbing back of the chairs. He's probably doing that right now. Have him behind you. Oh my goodness!
I picture him like King Kong climbing the Empire State Building, just swatting. Go for it, Rock!
You know what?
I just love that.
Every once in a while, they do those throwback movies, and they if they put Rocky IV in the theater, I'm buying my ticket with Brock.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that's a show right there.
That would be
exciting.
Yeah. And listen, talking about exciting, Stacy, I think you have an announcement.
Yes. So we put out a post asking for ideas and so forth. And so we got a lot of nice questions. So in the next coming episodes, I'm breaking down the questions, things people would like answers to. And we're going to do one of those a week. And then I was trying to figure out how to add a new segment. So we have a new segment coming up starting next episode called Where Are They Now? And we're going to start with Rocky 1. And our very first Where Are They Now will be Mr. Gazzo. And we're going to talk about Joe Spinell. And so that's coming, and we're going to go through some of the smaller roles in each movie and find out, what those actors did before, after Rocky, and just learn about them more personally. So I thought that might be fun. And then I wanted to plug my friend Justin's mom knitted me a gray and white Adrian hat. I think, I don't know if his mom heard me say something like, oh, I wish Sly Stallone Shop had more Adrian props. And then, so that was what got us into the conversation. I believe Carol in Mississippi bought one. Okay. And and then I got one. And so this is Justin Hurley's mom. Her name is Diane, and she is knitting these. So go to Balboa Yo if you want one. She'll sell you one. So, and it's beautifully made, and it's exactly the same as the picture from one of my favorite scenes. Do You Mind Marrying Me? Very much. So
I love that hat.
It's awesome. I've been wearing it for 2 weeks.
I'm telling you, seriously, that is awesome. Thank you. I'm glad to hear about that. And hopefully people will throw a little bit of business that way. And we'll see a whole bunch of people, a brigade of those Adrian hats going down the street.
Yep. It'd be fun.
All right. What else do we got?
All right. Let's see. Tim and I had a nice conversation about some of your posts, Mike. I know Tim, that you really, really.
Oh my goodness. You had a week. You had a week, my friend.
Yeah.
On the gram, as they call it. The kids call it the gram, right? Listen, now we all remember some of these posts from back in the day. The one that stuck with me was the one you did, the footage of him on Vegas, on Sly, on the show Vegas. Yeah. You know what? James Caan, first of all, what a great actor. And to have Sly plays that tough guy role to a T. But when the scene where he's, talking to him in his office and he looks at the security camera, and as he's doing it, he's eating it with a mouthful, and he sees Sly pushing the guy's face into the counter, and the look on James Caan's face is just, and then you get from Sly
in the security camera.
And then as he's doing that, Sly says, "Tell me that's not great. Tell me that's not delicious." I think I wore out my battery rewatching that scene, because I remember watching it when it was on TV.
Right.
But thank you for posting that. I know Sly appreciated it because he has been reposting some of your stuff.
Yeah. That's
cool.
But
he has.
That to me that shows his range. We all know him as the tough action star, but it's that little comedic
elements.
Elements. Thank you, Stacey. That make it just so great.
Well, that's the thing. I've just got done last week recording about 100 different shows on transferring from VHS onto the computer. I digitized everything, and now I have to go through and find the nuggets. So I have to find, you can't put a whole hour show up. You can't put a whole 20-minute interview up, because it just ebbs and flows. But there are certain nuggets. And that's what Sly wrote me. And he said, listen, he goes, send me the best parts of those stuff. He goes, I love seeing this. Yeah. So it takes time to go through them. There's just so much to see. So as we go forward, I will be posting little by little by little, and just so much more to come. And also John Rivoli, he's also done some recording as a kid too, and a young adult. And I know a lot of people.
We're getting spoiled. We're really getting spoiled.
Yeah, really, because a lot of that stuff's not on YouTube. A lot of it is not on YouTube. You can't find it. So I know we got some great stuff coming in the next coming months, on top of what's already been put out there. It's just been amazing. It really has been. Tim, before we end the show, before we let you go back to staring out the window alone in the COVID
ringing my dinner bell.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Is there anything you're doing on social media you'd like to promote? Is there anything at all that's a jabroni like you is doing?
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that. Tony D. Gennaro, another Rocky Files alumni. We have started, and people have noticed, we've started the Timmy and Tony 2 Jabronis Instagram page. It's full of antics. We just announced Flashback Fridays, where we had the Atari 2600. That's right, I said Atari. So my kids think it's stupid, so they're not allowed to play it anymore. No, but Tony has been posting videos from Philly, and they are promoting the Rocky Burger now in Philly. So I think we're going to get together with Tony, and we are going to do another live where he reviews the Rocky Burger from Philly. Tony, folks, is high energy, so we might do this coming up soon. coming up soon. We will definitely post it. I will post it on my own page. We will give people notice, but yeah, Timmy and Tony, two jabronis.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, before I go to Stacy, we have another Tony, don't we?
Yeah,
we do have another Tony. Tony C.
What's Tony C been up to? Have you heard anything?
I tell you, Tony C. He is up to no good. No, I'm just kidding. Tony C is a rock star. Tony C went to Hogan's Hangout last Monday night.
What is Hogan's Hangout?
So Hogan's Hangout, Clearwater, Florida. There's a cheap plug. We should be getting some props for that, people, right now. Okay? We're full of cheap props. So he's been going. That's where Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Mouth of the Heart. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Jimmy Hart, Mouth of the Heart.
Jimmy Hart.
There we go.
They do karaoke. My friend.
Nice.
So
nice.
Every Monday night he shows up in this karaoke. Tony and Mrs. Stallion showed up. Didn't quite get to meet them, but we're awful close to them. Tony C is going there again. He just went there Monday night. So hopefully we have some reports. He's going to, give us updates on how that's going. So he's going to try and do a live with Hogan, try and get him on. So a shout out to Tony C in the Hogan's Hangout.
Yeah.
Tim, thank you so much. Stacy, what's happening?
I did my plug. It was my bad.
Goodbye, everybody. See you.
And then there's this very cool tour in Philly and a cool movie.
Cool movie. It's the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour, The Pretender, and cue the Rocky music. Get them while supplies last. They're on sale right now. Get them where you get anything. Amazon. Go to Amazon. Guys, what a great, energetic, fantastic,
unbelievable,
bombastic, supercalifragilistic expialidocious show. Thank you, Tim, for dropping in and filling in.
Thank you.
Our man Anthony's shoes. Stacy, you kick ass as always. And you know what, Mike? Well, you got to get a little better, but maybe next week.
Oh, you're awesome. Don't say that.
All right, guys. What do we always say? Keep
punching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.